On this vehicle, rear suspension is independent. It has one cast aluminum triangle shaped lower control arm. That control arm also doubles as a spindle mount for the bearing assembly. There are two bushing pivots, one outboard and one inboard. And then toe is adjusted underneath the body at these two eccentric cams. The biggest differential on this particular system is that it has air ride in the form of an air-controlled shock. The shock absorber, for lack of better terms, is nothing more than an air shock. They call it an air strut from General Motors. But all this does is tailor the ride height. It isn't a true strut in the fact that it still has an elastic coiled spring that does the bulk of the suspension work. The air ride shock absorber gets one single line from the air shock from a compressor, and the compressor is turned on and off by a body control module. That body control module gets its signal from this one lever. As this lever actuates up and down, it sends voltage in varying differences back to the body control module. The body control module then determines the correct ride height. On this particular unit, the rod that connects the lower control arm to the lever of the ride sensor does actually have an adjustment, and that can be turned to correct any particular ride height problems that the body control module can actually induce. On the passenger side of this particular vehicle, it has the same control arm. It has another shock. However, it has no ride control sensor. It appears to actually have a provision in the frame rail for one to be bolted onto it, and it has a hole for the arm to attach onto the control arm. But this particular unit does not use two sensors. So all it does is has one air ride line that comes from a compressor. It splits into a Y and sends air to the air shocks, so they will balance out on their own with just one side. It's basically a series parallel airline system.